Good morning, Bibbie.
Well, good morning. This is my day of days.
Is it?
Yes. Kathleen just called. I
Oh.
hadn't heard from anybody this week,
Oh.
and I am bowled over.
Well, good.
How are y'all doing?
Okay, we're just calling to check on you.
What, baby?
We're just calling to check on you.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I never did get to go back and weigh.
Mm-hmm.
No, yes, I did. I went the Monday last week. You, you know what?
Right. You
Before
had told us.
Margaret went away.
Yeah.
And on that Monday, I went, and I was right where I was, the whole holding right with the 12 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't losing anymore. And if that be the case, I'm thankful to God, because my feet and knees and back need it.
Yeah.
So, Charlotte, I really do feel okay, but y'all don't believe what a fool I was yesterday.
What?
I was going to change my air conditioner filter in the house, Mark. You know, it's got 2 doors.
Yes, ma'am.
I dropped that top door, the big one,
Mm.
across my foot.
Mm.
Ouch.
So I'm kind of crippled up.
Mm.
But thank God, I looked at it and I called the doctor's office and they said, we'll work you in. Well, I figured $1,000,
Mm.
and they can't do anything for a broken toe, and don't believe it's broken. It was across my bad toes, and Mark, I said that was quicker than an operation. It separated them crippled toes.
Mm.
Could have made them better.
Yeah, actually worked. One next to my big toe was kind of twisted around the big toe, and it was a hammer toe. Is that a hammer toe?
Hammer toe.
And so it separated them, and it may be better than any surgery that I could possibly have. I have a ganglion on my ankle, and I said, what do they do for them? And they said, well, nothing unless it starts pressing on the nerve or something. It said they used to lay their leg up in the window and let the window down on it.
Mm.
Now, you can imagine what pain that would be.
Mm.
So anyway, but
God.
all the joking aside, I'm doing all right. And are y'all doing okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad, and I went to fill in my new address book, and I paused. I didn't know whether y'all were getting a house or...
Yes, we're going for the final walkthrough today, and we're supposed to have closing Monday, but we can go ahead and give it to you.
Well, not unless you want me to have it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hear all these clocks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so thrilled for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 3410.
Oh, I like that even numbers. 3410.
Luna, Luna. Court.
Court. Oh, that sounds high class.
No.
Luna Court.
And it's still the same, Nashville, Tennessee, 37211. Zip is still the same.
That'll cut down on the confusion.
Yeah.
And will your number be the same, your telephone number, or you don't know yet?
We don't know yet. We haven't got into
This
that.
is what I need.
I'm gonna request the same number. Just transfer it.
Yeah, and I believe they'll do it. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah. We really don't want to have to change our phone.
No, and really, I believe they'll do it.
Yeah.
I see some mixed up in different areas, and I'm sure that's what they've asked for.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so good to hear from you. I don't think, Charlotte, I do not think that I have a problem. If I get to thinking it, I'll go.
But don't you think just you should go anyway?
Well, that's what Reba said. I thought you were going to call Dr. Friend.
Yeah, I did
But to
too.
be frank with you, so much has happened, I have not had a chance.
Yeah.
It's just been a storm
Mm.
ever since y'all were here.
Yeah.
And oh, what a time we had while y'all were here.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I just didn't get to spend time with you like I
I
wanted
know
to.
it. I said, well, it won't never work out till I go up there.
Mm-hmm.
I realized after you left I didn't get to see you and Mark.
But I was just so tired the whole time.
Well, I guess so. As you know, after you've been as sick as you have been,
Yeah.
girl, it'll take you 6 months to get back to your old self.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
I just couldn't get up and go the
And
day that sister and them, they left me and I came in the car later.
yeah,
I just
well,
couldn't
I tell
go.
you what, I bet they is not for a loop. I believe she has told somebody that a teen stayed in the bed all day the day after they got home.
Yeah, she said,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I believe she told Kathy or somebody that in her email.
yeah.
So those trips aren't easy, and y'all's was packed full.
It always is when we come to Shreveport
Yeah.
because, there's just so many places to see, go
I
to
know, and
go.
everybody wanting you to come.
Yeah.
But
But
anyway, I just got that's the first time I've talked with Kathleen, and she called me to get Trevanian's address, and she threw the envelope away, and I got to talk with her, and they just did such a beautiful job. I wanted to tell her
yeah.
all the way through.
Mm.
When I said something the other day about what a beautiful job, to Sophie, that Kathleen had done, and she
Mhm.
said, well, Charlotte and Eva.
Yeah.
Charlotte did for Eva. So when you've done the very best you can, that's a clear pillow.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
So that's all. It may be right or it may be wrong. We don't ever know, but when we do the best we can, it pays.
That's right.
Kathleen said this morning that I actually lost her twice. I said, I know what you're talking about, and the first
Mm.
time is harder than the second time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but they did do beautifully, and it would have done, Margaret would have been proud.
Yeah. Well,
So we just have to pick up and go on. I like to let it get me down till I drop that door on my
mm.
foot. Mark, I went to cussing, and
That snapped you out of
that
it.
snapped me out of depression big time. I was moaning and groaning and didn't know what could happen so quick.
Yeah. Well, when did anybody tell Uncle Glenn about Moni?
Yeah, honey. And I don't know when I talked with you, but I'm the one that had to tell them.
I haven't talked to you since she passed.
Okay. People, every time that they'd call, Gertrude was gone. And Kathy said, there's no way
Mm.
I'm delivering that message to
No.
him. So then she left me. She come in and then left that Wednesday morning. And I called, and a sitter, it sounded like a black male sitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked for Ms. Laird, and he said, she's at the dentist. And I said, well, what time do you think I could get her? And he said, about 1. Well, I waited till 2, and I'm glad I did, because her dentist had sent her to Bossier to an orthodontist.
Mm.
So I told her, and Glenn was listening, but I wanted her there.
Yeah.
And, he told me, said, I've been in bed ever since that happened.
Mm.
Well, he called me one evening. I don't know if she knew that he called me.
Mm.
Must have been about Monday evening, because Margaret hadn't had the surgery. And he said, I'm in bed. I said, you got a cold or the flu, Glenn? No. It's ever since that happened about Margaret.
After she fell? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
So by the time that I told him that she passed away,
Mm.
he didn't sound that perturbed.
Yeah.
It was the fall that seemed to,
Yeah. Well, he probably kind of knew.
yeah. But I didn't. They called me and said she went through the surgery, but they had Kathleen called me, but had a hard time keeping her heart
Mm-hmm.
functioning and things. So I went to bed kind of hyped up.
Yeah.
But Charlotte, she's so much better off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Tuesday night they called me that they're sending Savannah up to the emergency room up here and scared me to death.
Mm.
I said, do you want me? I said, what is it? Vomiting. And I said, Did you want me to come down there, or do you want me to go on to the hospital? They said, that would be good if you went on up there. Oh, I got up there, and you never heard. Let's carry on.
What?
She cursed me.
Oh.
Said to show you, Mark, that either the medicine's working or her, or it just came out. But she said, I was doing perfectly fine up there. You come in and got me, took me out of there, and you just run around showing out.
Well, what did that mean?
Well, she's talking about back at home.
Oh, yeah.
This is the second time. First time they thought she had a stroke. This time they thought, and I told Craig, son, watch your personality, watch your disposition, watch your character.
Yeah.
When they brought her back to they said, can she stand up? And I said, yes, she walks. They said, with help. And so they brought her back from X-ray, and she was raving. And they said, is this her normal behavior? And I said, well, honey, she has Alzheimer's. They said, we know that. But is this her normal behavior?
Yes.
I tell you, since I can remember. I told y'all I used to dream when I was a child that I killed her and cut her up and hid her behind the door.
No.
Y'all didn't remember? I never did tell y'all that?
No.
That's my first nightmares. So she must have been giving me hell. I dreamed that Mom and Daddy was gone, so I got to kill her, and cut her up, and put her behind that living room door. You remember it, Mama?
Yeah.
And was trying to hide myself and her when they come in. Now, this is terrible for a 5-year-old child or 6-year-old child.
Yeah.
I mean, she must have been something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you told them yes? Or what did you tell
No,
them?
I lied. I said, well, they seem to love her at the nursing home. I just blah, 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 blah. I don't think I want a bit of footage with them.
Oh, my goodness.
My visits to her upset her because she thinks I'm free.
Yeah.
Essie had to quit going. And there's no way that two of us can walk in together. See, we're having fun and she's not.
Yeah.
That's that old sibling.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's an ugly thing.
It is. I hate that.
I do not believe that God intended us to nurture that. No way. You know, Margaret certainly wasn't like that. Nor May.
No.
Nor Eva. But Savannah would call me 3 or 4 times at night to see if Essie was here. Get her. She'd just call sometime and say, y'all having fun?
You mean when she was still at home?
Yeah. Y'all having a good time? I said, we sure are, man. Jean and the dogs. It was to see if Essie were here. So like I'm telling you, Mark, you're young. Get a hold of it, baby. And Charlotte, you're young, too. But I don't want to be remembered that way.
No. Well, I think the way you are growing up, I mean, young and through your life is how it's going to come out.
Well, I told Craig, he come up there. I called Reba, and I said it was about 6:30, and I said, I'm telling you now that I'm going to go Willis Knighton because they're taking Savannah up there, and I said, do not call one living soul. Because the last time she went, 50 people gathered up in the ambulance. They said it was a stroke, and they could find no sign of a stroke when she got better.
Yeah.
And when the madness left her, she was okay. Okay? I said, do not send a crowd. Well, sure enough, Craig stepped in, and she said, he said, I called and left a message on your machine. Brandy had to have a little heart or catheterization. You know, when she got pregnant, they found there was something wrong with her heart. I don't know if it had places on it or...
Yeah.
I just don't quite know. But they had said it would be a minor procedure. Well, they had done that. And he called me and left a message that she was okay. And he just wanted me to know. Well, when he called his mother to tell her that he'd got her home, she told him, he said, I called Grandma, and Her answering machine's on his. She told him where I was
Mm.
in his step, but he couldn't stay. I
Yeah.
think it's depressing. I think it's
I'm sure, and I don't know how you have dealt with
just
it.
turn it out. I just say
I guess 'cause you are used to it from all your life.
all my life, and I know that there's two people there, or maybe just one, but I'd just answer her back, but she'd say, I did not know I had a sister that would do me that way. I said, well, I'm doing you the way that I would hope you would do me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'd say. I just answer.
But she doesn't understand that.
Not a thing except herself.
Mm. Well, but that's the way it's always been.
No, that's the reason they said, is this her normal behavior? And I wanted, yes, yes, yes. But I'm good at talking out of both sides of my mouth. I believe they, and you believe that all of a sudden they could not find one thing wrong, and all of a sudden the ambulance people, the EMS, come after her, and they said, we come to get her. I said, she's going home? Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
And I said, well, honey, it was a lady and a man. I said, 10 o'clock. I said, is it necessary for me to go down to the home? And no, ma'am.
Mm. And I just thought me and Mark has been so busy running every day trying to get stuff for the house settled, and we haven't done that tape, but we're going to, because I've got to do one for Billie Hill, and I've got to do one for him and one for you, but I'll probably do that tomorrow, and about the nursing home.
You know what I realize when I get to thinking about all I have to do? You've got tomorrow. I mean, just don't worry about it. Don't let it keep you tied up inside.
I mean, but I've just got to do it, and it's just I called Sophie earlier, and she got to laughing so hard she said her insulin wasn't working, and her sugar was 300 this morning, and then I got to telling her what an ordeal we've been running and looking at carpet, and I didn't know it was such an ordeal because there's so many shades and types, and I said we went to one store at lunch from work and was in there about 45 minutes, and I started sweating and had to leave, and then I got weak, and I told Mark to stop somewhere and get me a real Coke. I was about to fall out. He had the air conditioner blowing in my face, and I was
Well, Charlotte, do you know that's exactly the way that I can't get hot? And I asked Dr. Presley, I went to him since right before Mark died, I believe, and I said, Doctor, I just got to ask a question. Now, if you want to know what stress does to you, I said, why is my flesh sore? I said, my butt, every inch of flesh on me is so sore. He said, stress. Now, Charlotte, that's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it can go over your body and do that.
But my sugar dropped, and Sophie got to laughing. And
hers is not working.
I know it. She told me that. And then I said, we went last night to Lowe's, and it happened again. I went to sweat and had to leave, and got home, and I was getting the shakes. My sugar had dropped, and I said, that's a new medical. She said, well, I need to go look at carpet today to get my sugar down.
Oh, Lord.
She laughed.
Yeah, that's the way she does. I think that she has to get with us to get to laugh.
Yeah, she said she was glad I called because she needed that.
Yeah.
She didn't.
I'm so glad you called her.
She didn't sound too good.
All she's got to talk about is you, Carolyn, and Mark. Your children.
Yeah.
And Cyrus.
And Bibbie, Mark, from old pictures that we got when Mother passed, there was an envelope of old negatives, and Mark took them and had them put on a computer disk, this man that does them, and he can print them off his computer now, and there's 2 of you out under that in the drive in front of grandma's under that oak tree holding up a baby, and it must be Reba.
Been the only baby, yeah.
And there's
Do you
two.
believe that I have found that, I've been working with my pictures, and out fell a negative from a box that just had poems and things in it
Mm-hmm.
that I had kept, and it's a lady standing in a pretty it's a negative,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know who it is, and I said, now I'm not going to destroy this.
Mm-mm.
It may be Mama, it may be Eva, maybe Margaret.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take that up to Albertsons and have that one film developed.
Yeah.
I want to see who that is and why was it in a box where there were no pictures.
Yeah.
As junky as my house is, I can detect something that's off. And I must have placed it there for a reason.
Right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, and there's two. I was telling Sophie there's two of her when she was young, and Mark's going to print them off, and we're going to mail, the ones with you in it to
Well, mail
you.
them all, because there's some people we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm running into here. And Eva Carolyn swears that's not her in that group picture. And it has to be. She said, I was never that tall. And Eva Teen said, that's not Eva Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Betty had that birthday, and, all her children were there. And I took the picture. I had several copies of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Elizabeth, is this you? She said, it sure is.
Hmm.
Standing beside Eva Carolyn.
Well.
And I didn't know if it was Nidris, or I finally figured out, no, that's Betty Earl.
Mm.
She was so glad that you know that she's had both breasts removed. You knew that.
Who?
Elizabeth.
No.
Betty Earl, Betty's oldest daughter.
Mm-mm.
And she's let her hair go gray. And she married, her first husband left her, that Gerardo that she had the two boys by.
Mm.
Okay, she married it sounded like to me a blowhard. Betty was always telling me about his houseboat where they're sailing up and down the river. Lived in Colorado. Do you believe that he walked off and left her and had gambled so much till she lost her house?
Mm.
So life is not a bed of roses.
No.
And he moved in the houseboat with his family.
Mm. Well, they kept telling me that at the 4th of July how much I look like Elizabeth. Well, I haven't.
Well, did somebody tell you, who was it, said, I don't know whether I'm standing by Charlotte? And who was that said that the other day?
Or Eva?
It was at the funeral. And I don't know if it was Melissa that said, well, I don't know whether I'm standing by Charlotte. I believe she was talking about Reba. So there's a resemblance.
Yeah.
There's a gene thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reba's hair is short, and she had on a rose-flowered top.
Mm.
And I believe it was Melissa that somebody told me, said, well, I do not know if I'm standing beside Charlotte or Reba.
Oh.
But you can trace us.
Yeah, and there's pictures of Hardy and Laird. There's a picture of Hardy. The only way I know it's him is because I recognize the horse. He had that horse with the white face, and he was a little boy, and we're gonna send that to him.
Good. That's what I've got a bundle of pictures for those boys, and I hope it doesn't hurt people when I give them pictures. But I feel like it's a necessity.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I love them. I want to get my hands on as many
What
as I can.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, my children won't be as thorough, and they may go on the street. See, I don't know.
Yeah.
And while I'm able, it's a pleasure for me to sit and sort.
Yeah.
That's what I do at night while I watch television.
Yeah. Well, Mark, when we get all this house and get settled,
That's not going to be real easy, but you know what? It will be worth it for y'all to be together.
Oh, yeah. We're already looking forward to it. And
it will. You're going to go through something right now.
Yeah.
And I said, now, Charlotte, you're describing your carpet shopping. I think I just pick up the phone and say, send me something, whatever you got.
Oh, goodness.
The the darker, the better. Can't see dog hair, can't see nothing.
Yeah.
But my house is so dark.
Well,
And I put dark carpet on the floor, but if I hadn't, I'd have had to been putting it every 6 months.
yeah, that's right.
So probably if I ever have to get any more, which I'm not till it goes through,
Yeah,
I'll probably get some more just like it.
yeah, yeah. So I didn't know there were so many colors and shades of
Oh,
color.
listen, it's just when we'd have to buy a car, that's supposed to be a happy time.
Mm.
I'd have to go to bed.
Yeah. Be like Lemon lay in the back seat with a chill when you went to the car wash.
I have forgot. Like I had a heart attack. I was going through Jean's stuff and found I said, oh boy, a foreign coin. And it was one car wash. And I saved it. Yeah, Lemon like had a heart attack.
Oh. Well, don't let nothing happen to that car wash coin.
Yeah, I said, well, I just burst out in a laugh, and I said, I thought it was a German coin or something. Y'all, I have never seen that much junk.
Because you're famous for that cat in the car wash story. On video, everybody...
Well, and you know, at the time those things happened, that wasn't funny to me.
Well, no.
I went to vomiting, couldn't quit vomiting,
Mm.
went in and told Gene fix them something to eat. He'd worked hard all day, and I went to my room. He said, "Well, what happened to you?" And I couldn't tell him.
Well, that's what. See, it was. I've had such a turmoil about the carpet, and when I told Sophie about how I fell out, she got to laughing so hard. She said, "I'm glad you called because I needed that." She couldn't stop laughing. But see, it was real stressful to me.
It was bad for you.
Yeah.
And the first, well, it was years before I could tell that. Years. And everybody laughed. And I said, even then, I thought, well, I don't see anything funny about this.
Mm-mm.
Then Randy come home and told the story about the car wash. He never had mentioned it.
And then Moni chimed in about Savannah's detached retina. And every time at work I see, because we work with medical claims, when I see an authorization and it says detached retina, I just start laughing.
Oh, Lord.
She said,
If we didn't laugh, I mean, of all the people in the world, I guess we have less to laugh about. But if we didn't have that, we'd die.
Yeah. She said when those brushes went to slapping on that windshield, she come out of there and didn't have a lick of sense. And her retina was detached.
And what?
Her retina was detached. Don't you have a copy of that?
No, I don't think.
Well,
of all people,
we're going to do that one
I
too.
don't have it.
It's sitting, when I first got that camera, and we're sitting at your kitchen table, and Reba was sitting by me.
Oh, y'all, I remember that day. I remember that day, but I don't remember the story about the...
And Letty, and Aunt Margaret, and you.
But all you could see is, you couldn't see anybody but you and Aunt Margaret. And there was a jar of pickles on the table, and when everybody started laughing, the pickle juice was shaking in that jar. But we played that for, Sister and all her family, and Jerry Glenn, and everybody just laughs till they cry, especially about the cat, and says, "You killed my cat." And then when you turned around and said, "And don't send me a bill." We still say that. Me and Mark.
Oh, Charlotte, would that have shocked you?
Well, yeah.
He took the cat, I laid the cat on the table, and he reached, and the cat just went limp. It was like for half a second.
Well, we're going to send you that video, too.
I stood there and looked a while, and he looked, and his attendant looked. Nobody said a word, and I said, "Well, you killed my cat." And then I got louder because I tell you, I felt like jumping on him.
Mm-hmm.
I did feel like jumping on him. And I said, you killed my cat. It was hard to absorb.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
you
That was
said,
Henderson.
but then you said you choked it to death.
He said, well, we have to control. I said, well, you controlled it.
Then you said, well, he said, well, that's control. And you said,
That control.
you said, well, I call it dead.
Dead.
You'll laugh when you see that.
Okay. But I tell you what, that wasn't funny to me for years.
No.
That hurt me so bad.
Yeah.
And to walk back out to that car and tell Mama, every evening she had something for me to do, you know, that interfered with my getting supper ready.
Yeah.
But I knew I'd see no peace till I took that cat.